Right now, NetherRealm is already working on Injustice 3, or possibly another DC fighting game set in the James Gunn universe. Let me know in the comments which game you think is more likely. And if you don't believe either possibility, then check out this video on screen, because it presents 3 big pieces of evidence that confirm NetherRealm's next game. So if you haven't already, watch that video and then return to this one, because we're discussing characters, baby! That's right, new characters and also returning characters, because superheroes are awesome, which is why I made my own. That's right, my own superhero comic set in future Las Vegas with tons of action and awesome characters. Join Ace and Spade as they work together to take down the Mafia-owned casinos and free their city. Don't miss out on the exclusive covers and awesome poster. There's also a digital copy for anyone outside the US. This comic was so much fun to create, so make sure you check it out. But for now, back to the video. Picking the best characters for NetherRealm's upcoming DC game. Injustice 2 did a much better job with the roster by pulling from multiple comics, instead of making it mostly Batman characters like the previous game did. And I want Injustice 3 to do the same thing as Injustice 2, pull from multiple comic books, because come on, DC has a lot of characters. First up, we gotta talk about Beast Boy. He is by far the most requested character and has been ever since Injustice 2, because we all grew up watching Teen Titans and Beast Boy was the coolest character by far. Not only was he funny, but his superpower was incredibly interesting. The man can take the form of any animal he wants to, even non-Earth animals. For a fun fact, that's right, Beast Boy even turned into demons one time. It's awesome. It's pretty obvious why he's the most requested character, and yet Beast Boy is the only member of the Teen Titans to not be playable in an Injustice game yet. And that's likely because his powers would be tough to animate, but Mortal Kombat 1's animalities prove that NetherRealm now understands how to transform somebody into an animal. So yeah, I think Beast Boy is pretty much confirmed. So next up, let's talk about Static Shock, or possibly Static, who's the adult version of the character for anyone watching that doesn't know that. The teenage version is Static Shock and the adult version is Static, and in the comics, typically the adult version is what we see, and the same goes for a majority of TV shows as well. However, even so, the teenage version, Static Shock, is my favorite, and that's the version I think should be in the game, because we all grew up watching his show on TV. Let's be real, Static Shock was easily one of the best superhero cartoons on TV during that time. So yeah, Static Shock should be in the game, but also I'd accept Static as well. My point is, put the electric superhero in the game. Either incarnation is fine, either version will do. Next up, we have John Constantine, a bit of a niche character, right? Unless you're a diehard comic fan, you might not even know who John Constantine is, but simply put, he is the magic character in DC, alright? The man can do pretty much anything, so think of Zatanna from Injustice 1, but a male version with way more spells and abilities at his disposal, and also a very fun personality. The guy tends to hate pretty much everything. He's typical British man. He's got this comedic level of nihilism, which would be perfect for story mode, so yeah, just one more reason to put him in the game, but mostly his magic abilities are why I want him in the game, and also he's a big favorite among comic book lovers, so if you're gonna have a comic book focused game, you gotta put the nerdy loved characters in there, like John Constantine. Then we have Plastic Man, a super popular character, especially lately. I feel like even normies know who Plastic Man is at this point. He's simply a fan favorite character that needs to be in the game for that reason alone. His mass appeal is incredible. But then on top of that, his abilities to stretch and shapeshift into pretty much anything would be perfect for a video game, especially a fighting game. And actually, I just remembered that Plastic Man shows up in the Injustice movies and also the comic books, of course, but I forgot he plays a big role in the Injustice film, despite never being in any of the games yet. Or in other words, he's already in the universe, so yeah, shove him into the next game, NetherRealm, what are you doing? Next up, let's talk about King Shark, one of the only Suicide Squad members to not be in an Injustice game yet. We've already had Harley Quinn and Deadshot, no Captain Boomerang yet, and he could be a good fit, but let's be real, Monster Man Shark Dude is way cooler than Boomerang Guy. I'm just gonna say it. He'd fit way better in a fighting game. Now with that said, I don't want the mumbling, childish version from the film. I don't like that idea of King Shark. I prefer the comic version where he's an Atlantean and not an idiot. I understand it's funny to have him mumble or not speak English very well and just say King Shark is a shark, because they're definitely not copying Groot with that movie, definitely not. My point is, King Shark can talk in the comics, and I want him to speak normally in the games as well. He's an Atlantean, for Pete's sake. The guy is very intelligent. But more importantly, he's a big beefy boy, and I like when Injustice games have big beefy characters. We had Grundy and Bane in the first game, and also Bane in the second game, but they shrunk him down a bit. I want Bane to be big again, and also have King Shark be a big boy character as well. We need need more big boy characters in NetherRealm games. In fact, speaking of big muscular characters, why not Power Girl? I think Supergirl was very fun in Injustice 2, but she had her moment in the spotlight, so now it's time for Power Girl, who some people do consider a taller and more muscular version of Supergirl, but I think it's more accurate to consider her female Superman, since her personality is closer to his anyway, albeit a bit spicier. Regardless, her moveset would fit perfectly in this game, especially if Superman is gone for some reason. Don't forget, at the end of Injustice 2, Superman is pretty much 100% out of commission. He's stuck in the Phantom Zone. But then again, that's just one of two endings, and we don't know which ending is canon unless you count the comics where evil Superman is still flying around. So maybe the evil version is canon, but if it was, then wouldn't we have Brainiac Superman? I didn't read the He-Man comic tie-in, so I'm not sure. Anyways, I think Power Girl would be a perfect fit, and I was trying to think of another lady character to add, but then I realized that the Injustice games already have most women from DC, or at least all the popular ones, so I was scanning around and then noticed Stargirl, and I thought, yeah, she'd be perfect, because Stargirl's abilities would be very unique for the game, plus she had a TV show recently, so that would be good cross-promotion, a good reason for NetherRealm to add her to the game, and yeah, overall, I think Stargirl would be a perfect and unique fit for the Injustice 3 roster. Then finally, last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Terrific. He's in the newest Superman trailer and also played a big role in the Injustice movie. Now granted, I did not like the Injustice movie, I didn't hate it like Battle of the Realms, but yeah, it was a terrible adaptation of the games, but even so, I think Mr. Terrific was a fun addition to that film. And more importantly, we know he's in the Injustice universe, so yeah, just put him in the game. For anybody watching who does not know that character, I forgive you, Mr. Terrific is kind of niche, just like John Constantine, and essentially he's a master inventor, one of the smartest people on Earth with a bunch of cool gadgets and stuff. But alright, that's about it for all the new characters I can think of, not just characters I personally want, but also characters I think have a great chance of being in the game, because they're either in a recent movie or an upcoming show, or heavily requested by fans, all that awesome stuff. So now it's time to talk about returning characters from past games that I think will also be in this new one. First up, we have Hawkgirl, because she's in the new James Gunn movie, and the James Gunn confirmed he spoke with NetherRealm about a new game. So yeah, chances are his characters will be in this game no matter what, which means that Hawkgirl is pretty much guaranteed, and I'm happy about that because I like the character, but also I want to see her gameplay completely overhauled, because in Injustice 1 she was very simple and basic and just not very creative. Next up, we have Lex Luthor, who's also going to be in the James Gunn movie, so yeah, he's very likely going to be in the Injustice 3 game as well. And his gameplay was pretty creative in the first game, albeit a bit tough to make work, so maybe NetherRealm could just buff how he puts stuff on screen and make it feel more natural to do his trap character playstyle. Then we have Green Lantern. I think this character's gotta be in the game, but possibly the Guy Gardner version, because once again, he's in the James Gunn movie, which I think would be really cool. I like that version of the character, but no matter what, we're definitely gonna get a Lantern character of some kind, let's be real. Then we have Bane, who just needs to be in the game. He's the premier grappler of the series and also a big fan favorite character. Bane brings the hype, and he's the best grappler NetherRealm's ever made, let's just be honest. I want Bane, you want Bane, pretty much everyone wants Bane to be in the game, so if NetherRealm is smart, they'll make sure he's there too. Then we have Raven, a character that I just personally want, and that's the beginning and end. Raven has a very small chance of returning, but I just want her to because she's so darn ugly in the first game. My goodness, NetherRealm, redeem yourselves. And also her gameplay was fun too. Let's be real, Raven has some really amazing powers that are perfect for video games, especially a fighting game, so yeah, put her in. Then we got Lobo, baby. This guy was a fan favorite DLC. In fact, I'd argue he's the most hyped DLC that NetherRealm's ever made for the Injustice series, so yeah, put him in the game. But okay, now's the point where we address the elephant in the room, because there's 3 very popular Batman characters that should be in this upcoming game, but I just don't know how NetherRealm's gonna do it. First up, we have Batman, who needs to be in the game, let's be real, whether it's Injustice or a different DC fighting game, you have to have Batman in the game. That's just a given. However, his most famous voice actor, Kevin Conroy, recently passed away, so maybe out of respect, NetherRealm could give us Batman Beyond or a different version of the character, but still Batman. Then next up, we have Harley Quinn and the Joker, 2 very popular characters who I can't imagine not being in Injustice 3, but also they're both dead, canonically, so how are you gonna put them in the game? In fact, Joker was already dead for Injustice 2, but showed up in Harley Quinn's head after fear toxin from Scarecrow. That's the only reason he's there at all for anyone to fight. He's a fear toxin induced ghost. And I don't think NetherRealm's gonna do that twice for the same game, so maybe some multiverse shenanigans or something to pull Joker from a different timeline, along with Harley Quinn, maybe, because I think she got killed off in in Injustice 2, didn't she? I could be wrong, but I think Harley Quinn died in the story mode. So like mentioned earlier, it's gonna be kinda hard to add these 3 characters into the game, but I bet NetherRealm will find a way to make it happen. Which means that that's about it for today's video, the new characters and returning characters for NetherRealm's upcoming DC game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I love reading every single one, so let's make this video interactive together. And before leaving, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like while you're down there, because every single like really does help this channel out a ton. And finally, finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.